Hey guys. Alright, I seen this one on two different other sources where they're weaponizing this island. One other source said they were putting mobile artillery batteries on this island, and other ones have spotted things like guns offloading. No, I don't want to message me. I do not want to message me. Thank you. But they begin to weaponize its man-made island as tension grows. May 29, 2015, the Chinese regime have moved armaments to its man-made islands in the South China Sea as tensions with neighboring countries to the United States intensify. The exact type of weapons deployed were not specified in an inclusive or exclusive report from Australia news agency, the Sydney Morning Herald. It states, however, that Australian officials are worried that China will follow up by deploying long-range radar and anti-aircraft batteries. If they do that, Australia, you have my rule as an American. If you need help, America will come to your aid. You can get either Obama's people or call in the militia. It's all the same to me. Let me say that again. Looking directly into the camera. Australia. A lot of bad stuff is happening. If you need American brothers and sisters on the ground, call us. We can get the militias and anybody else you need on the ground too. You do not always have to worship Obama or his people. We can help out too. We can put together veterans of all sorts to help out if you need it. Thank you. Going back here, the exact type of weapon. Okay, we already know that. The Chinese Communist Party newly released military strategy shifted from air defense policy of its air force to allow offensive actions. I don't know how true that is or why it's there. But the Australian report states the discussions around the weapons deployed are prompting discussion in senior military circles that may lead Australia to begin sending air force to South China to demonstrate that Canberra does not accept Beijing's hardening claims. Missions could include fly-throughs, sail-throughs, and similar exercise along the forces of the other nations. We need Americans on the ground. We need them now. We don't need them in the damn Philippines. Discussion in Australia follow a new policy of the United States to directly challenge the Chinese regime's land grab in the South China Sea. Challenge the motherfuckers. The Chinese regime is building artificial islands in the water close to 1,300 miles from the Chinese mainland. While it's not officially declared a defensive region around the islands, its military has been warning other nations when they pass through. On May 20th, the U.S. military released audio and video of the types of threats the Chinese regime sends. It flew a P-8A Poseidon surveillance aircraft over one of the Chinese man-made islands. Yeah, okay, the U.S. airplane did this. Okay. Chinese voice over the radio gives 8 warnings, including "You are approaching our military alert zone. Leave immediately," and "You go." The United States made its intentions for flyover clear. It is to maintain freedom of navigation and make clear that the Chinese regime's construction of a new territory in international waters will not be recognized as legitimate claim to sovereignty over the region. After the U.S. flyover, the Philippines stated that it too would begin flying military planes over the region. Australia may now follow suit. Okay, I got a buddy of mine in the Philippines. I'm going to have to message him about this and see if he can give me some better information. Basically, the Chinese regime has made it clear its ambitions for expansion facing this threat, according to Richard Fisher, senior fellow at the International Assessment Strategy Center. Don't know where that is. The United States has a small window of time to act. No, we don't. We can nuke the fuck out of them if we needed to. We are entering a battle of perceptions, and we are attempting to add new layers on the argument that it is China that is the aggressor. the rule breaker, and the real threat to the region. The Chinese regime is using three-pronged strategy as it pushes abroad. It uses military to seize and defend territory, propaganda to justify its actions, and money to rope in business leaders and politicians and influence foreign policy. It outlined ambitious expansion in the Chinese military strategy white paper released on May 26th by the Chinese Ministry of National Defense. The report outlines Chinese regime's interests in expanding its global influence, reeling in Taiwan, and expanding military control in South China Sea and East China Sea. Basically, it goes on and on. The Chinese regime ambitious, or sorry, basically the China's ambitions for military expansion aren't limited to just the South China Sea. It's currently looking to build bases elsewhere, including Djibouti in the northeastern Africa, and in Nambia in southwest Africa. Oh shit, that's not good. NATO's going to step up in there, and so will the UN eventually. Reports published by the Chinese media in November 2014 state the Chinese regime is trying to build 20 naval bases around the world, including Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Burma, Djibouti, Yemen, Oman, Kenya, Tasmania, Mozambique, Seychelles, Madagascar, North Korea, Pohnpei, New Guinea, Cambodia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Maldives, Nigeria, and Angola. According to the Nambian, a report of the bases published in the Chinese newspaper International Herald Leader states that the bases will give the Chinese military 3 strategic lines in northern Indian Ocean, western Indian Ocean, and South Indian Ocean. There's a lot to be done in relations, especially with the U.S. response. We're in a period where there is very little time left. Well, that's a nice little reflection. I don't like this. I can't make out that, so I don't know what the hell that says. Sorry. So, you heard it here, folks. Something's about to go down. I know, it always seems like they're going to bring one thing up, and then they hose it right down before it comes up. And then they're going to bring something in, and then they hose it down before it comes in, and then they bring up something else. This is what they do. But this is the new hype, supposedly. What can you do?